Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill, rolling right along here live from Indianapolis, the National Championship edition, as we are joined now, National Championship winning head coach of Mary Washington, Marcus Kahn. And Coach, I know you said it yesterday at the post-game press conference, how good it felt to have national champion in front of your name now. Now that it's been, less than 24 hours, barely 12 hours since the end of that game, have the emotions set in yet, or is it still something that's kind of surreal?
Yeah, it still feels a little surreal, to be honest. Even getting all the text messages and watching the replay of it, all the different angles, and I'm like, oh, wow, what a great game. That's a great finish. Oh, yeah, right. That's us to win the national championship. No, I'm hoping that I'm sure it'll set in this next couple days. But what a game and what a finish, and just the way it all went down was amazing.
Made it a little interesting there. Had a 13-point lead. Things got a little close. What was going through your mind as things got a little tight there down the stretch?
Yeah, we knew they were going to come back. They had they made some threes that they hadn't made earlier in the game, of course, right? As it comes down to the wire, that's when they start going in. And we got a little tight a couple times, I thought, and defensively missed some assignments. And But I was really glad, obviously, when they hit that three to tie it, looking up and seeing there's still 10 seconds. So I knew we would get a shot. Didn't know, again, with no timeouts, I didn't know how we were going to get it, exactly where it was going to come from, but the ball was in Kai Robinson's hands, which is where we would have put it anyway. So I knew we were going to get a good look, if nothing else.
Yeah, and Kai got a very good look. Yeah. With his moves, and then he was talking about in the post-game presser, his knee just buckles and he throws something up, and Colin Mitchell's there to get it. Talk a little bit about the impact of Colin. I think we talked about it even on Friday. He's had a 5-minute per game jump this season. He's become a pretty key guy off the bench in his minutes. He's been shooting over 40% from three. And it just feels fitting that the season ends on an offensive rebound and a putback for Colin, something that he's not necessarily done a ton of in his Mary Washington career.
Oh, for somebody like that who's been a role player, spot minutes here and there. This year, certainly in the NCAA tournament, played some major minutes for us. Last night played more than maybe we'd expected going in, but out of necessity. And then, for him to get that shot on an offensive rebound, which, I'd been on a lot during the game about rebounding, and we needed more out of him that way. So, and then to find after the game, I didn't really even realize that was his. Up until that shot, he'd only made 9 2-pointers all season. So
I would love to, I don't know if we have the stats for it. Maybe I'll ask Clint, our great SID, about it. But how many of those 2-pointers were just shots that he accidentally stepped in front of the line, maybe a little bit too much, and how many of them were actually in the paint? Because this season, I don't remember a lot of times Colin Mitchell getting into the paint and working down there. But
no, I think that some of them probably were early on against teams that had pressed us, that he was on the back end and got a layup. Or maybe we had a mismatch where a guard guarded him and he got was able to post up. But certainly not a lot by design, and I really don't remember many. But.
And now winning a national title, bringing it back, first in program history. What does it mean for you to be able to bring the first national title to Mary Washington?
Yeah, it means everything to me for the university, for our athletic department, for Fredericksburg. The way that all of it has just really supported us on this run. I really go back to, I think it was February 1st, maybe we had a home game against Santa Cruz and felt like, the crowd's starting to build. And it was really people from the community, from the Fredericksburg community. And it just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And the support has been incredible. Seeing the videos from all the watch parties last night, not just in Fredericksburg, but Richmond and all around Northern Virginia, that the support has been tremendous. So I'm very happy for all of them. It means the world to me, obviously, personally. This is something you dream of doing when you get into this profession. Watching some good friends of mine, head coaches in Virginia as well, be able to hoist the trophy. This just makes it sweet to join that club.
when you walked out at the first time for the game yesterday, and it was a ton of Mary Washington fans, a very well-traveled fan section is how I was calling it. Did you notice that? Did you look over, take that in? Did you recognize how many Mary Washington fans had made the trip, or were you locked in on the court and what was about to happen?
I couldn't help but notice the fans that were walking out. I could have done without some of the T-shirts some of the guys were wearing, but no, I noticed it actually in our locker room. They had a TV that showed like the live stream of the game going, so I could see the crowd kind of build as I was looking at the clock, how much time, kind of watching our guys warm up, watching Emory warm up, see the crowd kind of build throughout. So when I walked out, and just how loud it got was awesome.
Those T-shirts for the Richmond listeners, they had your headshot on. I think it said Kahn ball on them.
Yeah.
Who was that group that was sporting these T-shirts, and what was the reason for the T-shirts? And did you ever get an answer on that?
I was blaming the first moment I saw them, I was blaming Emmanuel Aguirre, who played for us. It was our group of alums, recent alums that all had them on and were wearing them. I was blaming Emmanuel for it, and it ended up being Pat Smedley, another part of that group, same team. His fiance was the one that had him made. So I don't know. I think it obviously is funny to see. I mean, my face like that on a T-shirt is whatever, but it's all good.
It was an electric T-shirt.
Yes.
We had some good ones out there. For you on the recruiting side of this now, how does this impact recruiting new players? I mean, you might not have to do too much of that considering that the team is sophomore, junior,
Yeah.
a lot of youth on the team. But recruiting-wise, how does something like this help you guys in the long term?
Yeah, hopefully it gets our name out there a little bit more, puts us on another level, to where more people are going to pay attention. And Mary Washington is a viable option. And I know that there's a lot of other schools, again, in Virginia, they get a lot of the attention. Hopefully now this kind of puts us right in that same conversation, and allows us to again, I think it just helps get the name out for the university. More people become interested at UMW, pay attention to how good of a school it really is, and how good of an athletic department we have, and a men's basketball program.
3 of the last 5 now national champions at Division III level have been from Virginia. I think it's something feels like we talk about every time we catch up here on Fitz the Bill, where it's a lot of talent is in the Commonwealth between Randolph-Macon, CNU, Hampden-Sydney. Hampden-Sydney was in the national title game, could have made it 4 of the last 5, but they fell by a couple of points to, I think it was Trine that year. What is it about Virginia? What is it about the Division III ranks that lends itself to so much basketball success?
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of good high school basketball in the state. There's a lot of talent from Northern Virginia. You got, Richmond is basketball heavy. Then you get down to the 757 there, where there's a lot of really good players, really good teams. I don't know how it ended up that way, but it really is. And I think at our level at Division III, and there's not a ton of the Division IIs, and so it helps the Division III level kind of either go into the Division I's or Division III.
So this morning you turned on ESPN. I assume you turned on SportsCenter and you watched the top plays and you saw that Collins put back his number 1. Is it surreal? Like, I don't know a better word to say it. Everyone was asking me, like, what was it like watching the game? And I think insane was one of the words. Surreal was one of the words. Then for you turning on SportsCenter, and the number 1 play is your Mary Washington team. What's the vibe? What's the thought process when you see that? I put on ESPN this morning, drinking my coffee, here come the play of the days. And I thought, oh man, how cool would that be if this is like number 10 or 9 or 8 or something, they pay attention, and it gets through, and once it crossed 5, oh, well, whatever, maybe somebody will send it in today. And then when it came up number 1, it was amazing. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, what an amazing feeling. Have you seen the views on the Instagram reel that ESPN posted of the play? It's up to 2 million.
Yeah. Yes. So somebody, one of our alums had texted that to me, and unreal. Unreal.
Couple of cut-ins in the NIT championship game as well with the live highlights. I mean, it's a lot of impressions going for Mary Washington right now, and now you head into the off season with all of this behind you.
Yeah.
Are you able to kind of take a breath and now relax? What does relaxation look like for you heading into the off season?
That's a good question. I'm sure that my wife Jessica's got a long honey-do list since the season has been so long that I'll have to start tackling this next weekend. No, it's. I mean, what a way to go into it. Usually, it takes a day or two to catch your breath, and it's a little bit of depression. At least this year, that won't be the case. It's. I'm going to need some rest. Again, we started late September with those early practices that you're allowed to have now, all the way to an extended tournament. It's been a long year. And so getting back to that, just being at home during the evenings will be nice. Recruiting is going to start up. I want to say next weekend is the first big one. But as talking with Mark and Chris, that probably take that weekend off. Let's just enjoy this for a little bit before we hit the road.
When you think back to this season and this team that you guys had this year, what are some of the words, some of the memories you'll have for them?
Fun. I know I've said this 1,000 times to anybody that will listen to me, but this has been the most fun year. And I said that in December. I said it in November. This is just a fun group to work with. Appreciation is another word. I appreciate that they let us coach them. We've got some really talented young guys that weren't above being coached, and they let us do our jobs. We gave them a lot of freedom to do theirs. And this guy was kind of the conversation at the beginning of the year. Like, let's all just do our jobs to the best of our ability and let's see what happens. I think if we do that, we can have a special season. To me, saying that was getting past where we were last year, maybe that Elite Eight game, having been in the tournament before, it's a lot of, okay, who do you match up against? And then I look at our bracket and it's like, oh, we're going to have to go through Chicago. We got to get by Trinity number 1 for us to do anything. So, yeah, hey, let's see if we can make it to Fort Wayne. And we get through that weekend. Here's Emory, who's been for the perennial number 2 for the year, I think. Spent a lot of time at number 1. Wow, okay. Let's take our chances. And but again, that's this group, and we were loose and ready to roll.
I don't think I've ever, and I mean this in the most complimentary way, I've never seen a basketball team as loose as your team was heading into a national championship game. It was pretty crazy to see. Typically, you see teams get a little tight, get a little nervous, but for them, the moment was not too big whatsoever. They missed a couple of the early shots, and it didn't impact them at all. And one of your freshmen, Josh Sewidor,
yeah.
I mean, 2 for 2 from long range. He was a defensive gnat. That's kind of how I'd been describing him all season. Just really, in the most complimentary way, they were one of the loosest teams I've ever seen covering college basketball.
Yeah, it's a fun group, and they don't get uptight about much, which drives me crazy sometimes when we're trying to watch film or have a meeting, and they like to find the fun in everything we do, which has helped me. They've taught me that I've gained a greater appreciation for that too. Not been so uptight. I think from our last time in the tournament, even last year, going into those games, started that for me where we're playing with house money. Let's just have fun with it and enjoy the ride. I told myself during the drought of NCAA tournament appearances that if I ever get back to that point, have fun with it and really just appreciate that you're doing it. There's so few guys. I mean, again, I've got some good friends that are probably better coaches than I am that haven't had the opportunity to be in a national championship game and to be able to just gain an appreciation for it and have fun with it. So I'm really thankful that our guys are that way because it's helped keep me really level-headed and not get too stressed out about it.
Awesome, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on having national champion now in front of your name. It was a blast of a game. I hope you had as much fun coaching in it as I did watching it, but appreciate your time this Monday morning as well, and enjoy the off season. Enjoy whatever relaxation looks like for you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I certainly will.
Marcus Kahn, the head coach of Mary Washington men's basketball, taking some time out of his morning to chat with a national champion, Marcus Kahn.